Hi everybody. Today I was just deciding that I was going to talk about financial control, narcissism and financial control. I Before I met my ex-husband, I was working on cruise ships. I worked all around the world and I was fairly independent. By the time 18 years later that I ended up divorcing him, I was codependent. I was financially controlled and I was in a really sort of dark place, yeah, with him. This happened over, subtly over a number of years with him taking financial control. I got pregnant early on in the relationship. Everything moved really quickly. It was textbook stuff. Moved in with him very quickly. Ended up pregnant with him very quickly. Was going to leave him and go, and then found out I was pregnant. So decided to give it a go, and we moved into a place attached to his parents' place who had a B&B, and then eventually we moved into our own place, and thereon it just basically started with a lot of financial control. The second house that we ended up renovating, because we renovated the first cottage, second one that we renovated, he actually ended up just going out and buying that on his own without even telling me. Just ended up buying the house, going off. We had separate bank accounts then. He gave me no housekeeping. I had no money coming in from anywhere because I was at home with two children, both of which ended up having kidney problems. My daughter had and still does have a long-term kidney problem called nephrotic syndrome. A lot of things were very difficult because when I look back and I blame myself and think, how did I end up in this situation? Why didn't I get out? It was because everything was so very, very unstable all the way through. We were moving from house to house, renovating, buying the next one. He was buying properties. The children were ill. I was trying to deal with lots of different situations, and I gave up working. He wanted me at home. He wanted me at home working with working and being with the children. Working as in renovating, but even then I didn't know how to renovate. It was only with him shouting and swearing at me. I was given lots of the mundane jobs, painting, wallpaper stripping, lots of things like that. Basically shouted at, all the time because I was never doing anything right. Nearly pushed down some stairs when I had painting equipment in my hands. Well, I was. He kicked me from the top stair, pushed me down with his foot, and I fell down to halfway. But minor stuff living with him. Yeah, the thing was I was controlled. I had no money of my own, no independence. The money that I'd saved up, he quickly spent on renovating the properties. Anything that came in that was mine, inheritance or whatever, he ended up spending. It was craziness all the way through. But being financially controlled meant that I ended up putting lots and lots of money on a Visa card. So if I had left him, I would have left with a lot of debt. The third house that we ended up renovating, that's when I put my foot down and said that I needed to have money of my own and be, not controlled by him. But the money situation was very, very strange. He just would go out and spend it on whatever he felt like, whenever he felt like, especially with renovating houses. I don't think we ever made any profit on it because he never kept a running tab of how much he was spending. He would just go out. The last house I showed people around when we were selling it, or when he decided to sell it rather, I literally walked around one of the house saying, he chose the fireplace, he chose the kitchen, he chose the bathroom suite, he chose the wooden flooring, he chose this, he chose that, he chose everything. And the couple that were looking at the house said, so what did you choose? And that was just it. It was literally like, not my decisions, it was mainly all of his decisions on everything. He would go out and buy whatever he felt like, and I obviously couldn't do the same. I didn't have that ability to spend the money like that. It was just, I don't know, just a crazy situation. And then when you don't have your own money, coming in. You feel very beholden. You're in a very weak situation. Also, just him buying the houses and having him putting his name on all of the deeds and me not on anything, and just dangling the carrot of buying a buy-to-let, which never ever happened. Again, just kept me in a vulnerable situation. You know, I felt like I couldn't leave him, but obviously in the end I did. I just walked out with nothing. You know, still fighting for financial settlement off of him now, nearly 3 years later. Just crazy. You just need to be aware that they have their own set ideas. They live in their own bubble. They just think that they can do whatever they feel like. You know, their money is their money and your money is their money as well. That's pretty much how they look at it and sum it all up. It's crazy. Yeah, I think to this day we never ever made any profit on any of the houses. It was all just whittled away. He just bought whatever he felt like, whenever he felt like. And I just want you people out there to be aware of the narcissists and their money, and how they view money. And to this day, I'm 50 years old now, and I have never been on a mortgage. I've never sorted out a mortgage. I've never sorted out a lot of things to do with financial things. Even with the utilities, I would set up utilities. He wouldn't be happy. It would cause arguments, and then when he decided he would just change utilities, everything. If it wasn't to what he wanted, he would change it. He would change it all the time. He would overrule me. It was criticism, put downs, and you can't live your life like that. All this constant being put down, made to feel inferior. Nothing was ever good enough. Even when I was saying to you about being kicked down the stairs, that's after painting our daughter's room. I'd just done a bad job. He whatever I did was never good enough. In his eyes, it was a bad job, and he wasn't happy. And, you know, he tried to push me down the stairs when I had painting equipment in my hands. Everything was a moan. Everything was criticised. Nothing was good enough. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you're enjoying my series. It's just me ranting, getting things off my chest, and hopefully pushing you guys away from falling in the same traps as what I've done. Because I'm 50 years old now. I gave up 18 years of my life, and that's one of the things that he said to me, that if I ever leave him, he's had the best years out of me. That was one of the last things that he said to me, which has burned it into my brain. But he used all of the textbook stuff. You're a doormat. No one else is ever going to want you. You know, all of that crap, all of that, I don't know, narcissistic shit that they say. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Love to you guys out there. Alrighty, bye now.